We are back on Morning Line. Thanks for joining us. Josh Horn is with us from Social Security. Taking your calls the rest of the show. So you see the number on the screen, 737-7587. If you want to jump in, we do have some lines open. And Josh, we got some folks that waited through the break. So next on the horn is Tom. Good morning, Tommy.
Hey, good morning, Eric. How you doing?
Good. How are you, sir?
Oh, pretty good. I got a couple of questions to ask Josh.
Okay.
And I'll make them quick.
All right.
Josh, I draw my disability widow's pension. I'm just over 62 now. And what I'd like to know, can I still draw my Social Security at 62 and change this disability widow's pension over? Or what do I do on this first question?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So yes, one of the few times that you can actually choose between two records is when you're dealing with a widow or widower situation. And so a lot of folks will take their widows or widowers benefits at age 60 or 62 or whenever they can, and they'll let their own benefits continue to grow as late as either full retirement age, 66, 67, or you can earn delayed, on your own record, you can earn delayed retirement credits up until age 70. So a lot of folks will even wait as late as age 70, and then they'll switch over and draw that higher benefit amount. I've actually seen it the other way too. Maybe the widow's benefit is higher, and or the widow's benefit's higher, so they go ahead and draw on their own record, and then later on they switch over. So you just need to contact us, kind of find out those numbers to see which one's higher. We've also got certain situations where your own record will never be more than what you're drawing now, and vice versa. So you just kind of have to look at those numbers, find out how much yours will potentially grow over the next few years, and kind of decide when you want to look at switching over to your own record.
Sounds good. And I'm going to go back to him real quick because I know he had a second question, but it sounds scratchy on there. Tommy, did you have a second question?
Second question was?
Yeah.
My mother is she draws her disability, and she's 80 years old, and right now she's in the hospital. I had to go, she's not looking good. But they want me to be power of attorney over her medical and all of her money and everything else. Well, me being power of attorney, will that affect me and my disability by taking the power of attorney over her?
What, did he say, will it affect his? No, it won't affect yours at all. And in fact, I'm glad you mentioned power of attorney. We had a lot of folks coming in with power of attorney, but unfortunately Social Security doesn't recognize power of attorney at all. We have something separate called the representative payee system. So if you've got a situation where you've got a parent or a spouse or a child or somebody who for whatever reason can't manage their own benefits, you can become representative payee, and that's kind of in lieu of the power of attorney.
How do you get that? Do you need a lawyer to help set that up?
No, you just come by and apply. Yeah, you would come to become a representative payee for the Social Security benefits. You would come by and explain the situation. We'll take an application from you and reach out to the doctor to get some medical evidence, and we do that fairly frequently. But as far as how it affects your benefits, neither one of those would affect your benefits.
Free and clear. So you go ahead and do that if you need to for your mother. That's great. Let's go to Daryl. Hi, Daryl. Good morning.
Good morning.
What can we do for you, sir?
I just want to know how people draw SSI and a Social Security check.
Okay, so I believe his question was he wanted to know how somebody could draw SSI and Social Security benefits. And so SSI, for those of you who may not be as familiar, is a needs-based program based on your income and resources. Now, the disability criteria is the same as regular Social Security benefits as far as deciding if you're 100% disabled and if it's expected to last for a year or longer, but the non-medical factors are different. With Social Security, it's what you've worked and paid into the system. With SSI, it's based on your any kind of income in the household, and also what kind of resources like bank accounts, extra vehicles, things like that you may have. We do have some folks who come in that draw, they may have worked a little bit, and so maybe they're only drawing $200 or $300 in Social Security benefits, which is far less than the SSI benefit amount, which the SSI, the SSI benefit amount this year is $771, and so what we do is we'll go ahead and pay some SSI benefits to bring them up to that 771. So we do have some folks who are kind of drawing a little bit of each.
Okay, so his question was, how could he take? I didn't understand exactly what he said. You took it as being, how could he draw both?
How could you draw both? I mean, you can't draw both. I mean, you're not going to draw
I
full
thought it's
SSI
one or the other.
and Social Security. I mean, that's not going to happen.
Right. I thought he doesn't. Now, if he reaches Social Security age and he has some in the system, I mean, just transition over.
Yeah, because the Social Security is a dollar for dollar offset. So the basic SSI amount is $771. If you're going to draw $200 in Social Security because that's all that you're eligible for, it's going to knock that $200 right off of the SSI benefit amount. Now you apply for both. 99% of the time we apply for both at the same time whenever you come in and apply for disability.
So it sounds to me like whatever the answer is, and what anyone would be after asking that question is, could they get more money? It sounds like there won't be by drawing on both. It'll be whatever it would have been set under SSI.
Right.
Okay, so that's where that stands. Let's go next to Leon. Good morning, Leon.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hi.
I have a question about the timing of filing for Social Security retirement and when I need to stop work to get the maximum benefit. I will be 70 in October, and I wonder, first of all, when do you need to file generally so much in advance? And secondly, would it increase my ultimate check if I work out the year with those extra 2 months and roll off a previous year with lower earnings?
And so you're not drawing benefits at all right now?
No.
Okay, so first of all, after your full retirement age, which for you is 66, your work, it does not affect. I mean, you can make as much as you want to, and you can still draw benefits without being penalized. But then it sounds like what you're doing is letting your benefits earn delayed retirement credits, and you can earn delayed retirement credits as late as age 70. At age 70, file, because there's no more money coming after that.
Yep.
And so you definitely want to file. I've seen some people come in at 72 and 73 and they've lost 2 or 3 years of benefits. So definitely file in time for age 70.
So she should file now.
Pretty much you should be going on there right now, even because if you're 2 or 3 months within it, you can go ahead and file now and have it set up for either now, or you can have it set up for when you turn age 70 for that maximum amount of benefits. Now, the second part of your question had to do with your current work and how that would possibly increase your benefit amount. And so what we do is we take the highest 35 years of your earnings of your whole life. So we look at all your whole life's earnings, and we look at all those numbers. We do what we call indexing, and so that means that we bring it up to today's numbers, because inflation and different things like that. And so we bring it up to today's standards, and we look at whatever the highest 35 years are, and we plug that in. So if you have continued to work full time the last several years, then those years may be higher than some of the years that we've used in the calculation earlier on, and so that may be increasing your benefits that way. So.
Yeah, I think she referenced it. I think she may be aware of that, because she could continue working after she draws her full maximum benefit at 70, and let's say at age 71 she makes more money than she did when she was 35.
Yeah.
That would bump off that 35, and you'd bump in your new additional amount of money in there, correct?
And once you file your taxes, and it goes through IRS, and IRS systems feed over to our systems, and then they do a recalculation. Sometime in the summer, usually, they do a recalculation to see if we're able to pay you any more money. Sometimes it's a couple of dollars. Sometimes it's more than that. Just depends on what your earnings record looks like.
And the maximum again that you can draw, if you earned the maximum, which I always ask you this, and I'm awful with numbers, but it's if you only tax Social Security or draw Social Security up to how much earnings? 100 and
Let's see, this year it's 132,000.
So if for your entire career somehow you started and you were some kind of wizard early on, if you made 132,000 for 35 years, how much are you drawing? That's the max Bill Gates is getting.
Exactly, the max anybody could possibly get this year's $2,861. So that's at their full retirement age. Yep. Not including delayed retirement credits.
$2,861 if you were earning $132 or whatever $1,000 for 35 years. All right, so 2861, not a bad chunk of change, but even that is not a ton of money. Yeah, that's why I always say, hopefully Social Security is something there to supplement whatever else you have in your savings, along the way. Because if you're living just on Social Security, and many people do, they'll tell you it's not easy.
Yeah.
We'll take a break on that note. When we come back, more calls for Josh Horn right after this.